Okay, Hamilton, Ontario, across from City Hall. This is Cailin, and we're at a anti-lockdown rally, and everyone that I've interviewed has their own different story, and they've all been impacted by this legislation. And Cailin, you have a couple of kids, I see?
I have 2 kids in the Hamilton District Wentworth School Board.
And how has the lockdown impacted you and your family?
Quite majorly. I'm a single mom,
okay.
So I completely rely on myself for money. I completely rely on myself for everything.
Yep.
So in the beginning of the lockdown, I had my own home care agency. That was shut down because the government wanted only to sell PPE to government-funded home care agencies. So that impacted us greatly, as well as my children being out of school.
Can I ask one second? So you had to provide all this PPE equipment yourself?
Yes.
for all the kids and yourself, and it just was too expensive? Is that?
Yeah. Okay, so home care agency, I work with older adults who have dementia and things like that.
Okay.
So we do home care so they don't have to go to long-term care.
Oh, nice.
But it seems as the government, when the lockdown happened, did not give the PPE to private home care agencies. It was only government funded.
And isn't that ironic, because I've heard all these horror stories with a lot of these long-term care facilities.
Absolutely.
And that has impacted me as well, as everyone. Okay,
Yeah.
Continue please.
So with them being out of school, there goes their socialism. They're 5 and 7. They greatly need that. Being stuck inside, we couldn't go out and do fun things during the summer. Both of their birthdays are during the summer.
Yep.
School was a big thing. It really was, because, or still is.
How is it still a big thing with masks?
So they do go to school full time here in Hamilton.
Yep.
Because of the mask mandate, though, it's made things extremely difficult. My 5-year-old got hurt at school, very bad. His tooth was knocked out here. It was bleeding everywhere, and from all the stories that I've gathered, they put his mask right back on while it was bleeding. So it bled through 3 layers until I picked him up 2 hours later. I also did not receive a phone call.
Wow, so we're talking a lot of issues there, including bacteria buildup. That doesn't sound very sanitary to me.
Not at all.
And
for them to breathe in whatever is trying to come out of their body, breathing that in is not good for them.
And were you able to have an impact? You were talking to me about a Rebel News story.
A shout out to Rebel News. They're amazing. They brought light to the story. The interview is up on YouTube. And because of that, I have heard from the school board. Finally, I have heard from the principal. And I haven't told the group here yet, but I will today, that they are promising to take a day to educate all staff and all teachers on the proper use of masks, the dangers during exercise, the dangers of them just wearing it all the time, and when to change a mask and when not to wear one, because they weren't educated. And I blame that solely on the school board, not the teachers.
Okay, and is there anything else? For example, I mean, kids express themselves visually through facial expressions, and what are masks doing to that?
So my older son, he's 7 years old. He's a very sensitive child, and he does a lot more talking through his facial expressions than speaking. He doesn't like talking about his feelings. So at school, obviously it's extremely hard for him to express himself. So they're saying this year that he's a lot more quiet and all these things, but he is a quiet talker, just nobody can hear him talk now because of the masks as well. So all around, it's just, I don't see any benefits whatsoever.
No, neither do I. I haven't seen any at all, and I've looked up the science of it. And,
there's no science to back up children wearing masks.
There's no science to back it up, and it's impacting them emotionally. I mean, I see them as muzzles myself, and the world has a long history of making people hide their faces, and that's a real attack on our freedoms as well. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.